Thousands of dollars on auto repairs. Call and get a free no-obligation quote. This auto protection gives you a claims department that has an A+ rating by the Better Business Bureau. 24-hour emergency roadside assistance also included. Save on future car repair bills. Call for your free no-obligation quote now.
With some 19 million students in college, most of them in debt, there's big money in student loans. And no one knows that better than a giant company with a dainty name, Sallie Mae, which until recently was the largest originator of federally guaranteed student loans. For years, Sallie Mae made a fortune on student loans. In fact, the company did so well, its CEO, Albert Lord, was able to afford this, his very own private golf course. 244 rolling acres in the Maryland suburbs of Washington, which Lord, who declined to be interviewed, spent a reported $30 million to develop. Sallie Mae says he sold the course in 2008. In 2009 alone, Sallie Mae collected $1.7 billion in interest on student loans and nearly $300 million more servicing loans and bundling them into securities to sell, just like mortgages. But in 2010, everything changed. In a provision tacked on to the new health care law, the federal government took over the function of making loans to students, saving billions in subsidies it was paying to companies like Sallie Mae.
By cutting out the middleman, we'll save American taxpayers $68 billion in the coming years. $68 billion. That's real money.
But for Sallie Mae, that meant real changes. The company is laying off 2,500 employees. CEO Albert Lord gets to keep his job, but he is taking a 20% pay cut to $1 million a year plus stock. The company is also changing its business model. Now it makes money collecting and servicing loans for the government, consulting with schools, and making private loans to students and parents. And it's that last part that has some concern.
Private student loans are a risky financial product.
Lauren Asher of the nonprofit Project on Student Debt worries the growth of private student loans could inflate the student loan bubble even more, pushing students and their families even deeper into debt.
They have variable rates, and the lender generally reserves the right to increase your rate for just about any reason. It's hard to predict costs, and that's what makes them particularly dangerous.
Like government student loans, private loans can't be wiped out in bankruptcy, but the terms of the loans vary widely. Some of Sallie Mae's private loans, for example, are less expensive than federal government loans. But Sallie Mae isn't the only company offering student loans. Among the new private lenders, for-profit colleges. To keep their customers from dropping out, many schools have set up their own lending arms, which typically charge double-digit interest rates. Most everyone agrees, including the lenders, that private student loans should be a last resort.
If students and families are getting any pressure to take out a private student loan, they should know they have other options.
There are Perkins loans for low-income students, Stafford loans, some that build up interest when you're in school, and subsidized ones that don't, and so-called PLUS loans to parents. The government now offers so-called income-based repayment, allowing many students to reduce their monthly bill. But no one, certainly not the Secretary of Education, is willing to suggest that borrowing for college at all in a dismal job market could be a risky proposition.
Should some students just not go to college?
I think they need to go to the right college. Again, this is all about choice.
But some who have been there are less certain.
The hardest part is that a degree is not a guarantee anymore, and I think you have to have experience as well.
Nick and Emily Hauptman did find jobs, which means they'll soon have to start making payments on their $250,000 in student loans. Nick, with his MBA, got a job as an accountant for a local family business. Emily, with her bachelor's degree, found work as a legal assistant. One of her co-workers in the same job doesn't even have an associate's degree.
You know, you don't have to go to college right out of high school. Find out what you want to do. Don't discover yourself in college and pay all this money.
Ralph and Joan Grande, who found themselves on the hook for $81,000 in loans when their son was killed, were able to reach a settlement with the state of New Jersey. Now they owe a little more than half, or $41,000.
You take out student loans and co-sign them for your children. Make sure that you take out life insurance. I'm telling you, you don't think it'll ever happen. And God knows I never thought it would happen to me, but it does happen.
Kyle McCarthy is trying to stay afloat with the help of friends. The wage garnishment has begun, $171 a paycheck, or about a quarter of his take-home pay.
By no means am I saying don't go to college, because that's not what I'm saying at all. But I mean, people have to be aware of what they're getting themselves into.
Shelby Kuipers, a high school senior, was accepted at one college, cost of attendance just under $30,000 a year. She's weighing her options, but isn't terribly concerned about the money.
I still want to go to college. I want to do something that I love.
Her parents aren't concerned either, even though their college finance plan depends on Rick, Tammy, and all their kids staying employed and staying healthy.
Is there a plan B, or what is there? You just hope and pray?
Hope and pray, yeah.
The day after this interview, Tammy Kuipers was rushed to the hospital with chest pains. Turns out it was just a scare, but Tammy admits a dose of reality. Away at college, daughter Kaylee, majoring in international development, still isn't worried.
I don't really know how it's going to work out, but I'm getting a great education here. I'm at a private school and I like it.
She likes it so much that now Kaylee Kuipers is thinking of going on to graduate school, though she's not quite sure yet how she'll pay the price of admission. To find out more about student loans, in-depth reports on saving for college, and resources to calculate your price of admission, go to collegedebtcrisis.cnbc.com.
Mondays meet biography on CNBC. From a humble start, he created a glamorous global hotel empire, but nearly